Now, Brett, what sort of condition have these players returned in after their break?
Yeah, most of them look pretty good. I mean, obviously, you kind of wait until you get the time trial done. So we'll have to wait and see what that shows us. But yeah, generally the guys looked pretty good condition today, which was good.
Have you done the trial, or are you waiting for numbers?
No, we'll wait for the 5+ year group to come back, and then we'll do it as a whole group because they're only a week apart. So
footy's out there. There's always that debate: do you keep them hungry for the footy, or do you give them to very quickly? You've given them to them first start.
Yep.
Reason why? Or the reason why not?
Well, I think it's a couple of things. Obviously, we've got 4 weeks before Christmas. You've got a new coach who obviously needs to implement his game plan. I think in today's footy with the GPS, we can monitor the intensity of their footy drills and get what we need to at it from a conditioning perspective. And then obviously just top up at the end. So yeah, more than happy to get predominantly most of our work through the footy drills and then just top up what we need.
There's always that argument as to who wins, the fitness coach or the assistant coaches and coaches on what you do.
Yep.
How's that debate going in here?
Well, it's not really a debate. It's just it's just a working relationship with Pike, and one of the fortunate things with Don is he was a training coordinator at West Coast, so he's had a lot of involvement with putting together training. He's obviously got a background from his dad from sports science, so he's one of those coaches that understands the conditioning and strength elements. So that helps you out because he's well educated in that area.
Is it harder to get that balance though with the change in rotations, less rotations, and the need to get the ball working, the skills going?
Yeah, look, it's going to be down to 90, obviously, 30 less. Look, that'll mean guys are just going to have to sustain their effort for longer before they get a rest. So, it's everyone's. When you look at a 25% drop, it seems like a lot. What we're doing was we're going back to 2008. So, it's not as though we're revolutionising the game. It's just going back to what we were doing in 2008 from a time on ground point of view, with around about 80 to 90 rotations. So, look, there won't be a massive shift. It would just be a few less sprint efforts, and guys will have to sustain their effort for longer before they get a rest.
You're coming off a shorter time than most others because they played in the finals. So, what do you want to get out of this pre-season?
Well, the most important thing is we ingrain the game plan, and that's obviously Pikey needs the time to be able to do that. So, when you're coming in with a shortened period and you've got a new coach and a new high performance manager, obviously you just got to manage your time to make sure that we're ticking off both boxes, and that's ingraining the game plan and also getting conditioned. And 10 weeks is enough to be able to do the conditioning part of it, and I guess the game plan will evolve as time goes on.
Is it easier because you inherited a group that was in extraordinary sort of fitness levels and injury rate last year or this season?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. They certainly had low injury rates last year, but we've got quite a few that have come off of either off-season surgery or modified programs over the off-season. So you would have seen today that we've got 5 or 6, and then probably a few more once the 5+ year guys come back. So it's from a numbers point of view, there was quite a few guys that were able to hold on towards the end, but needed some rest and recovery time. So, we've got to just manage those guys through pre-Christmas because there will be quite a few on modified programs. But that's not an issue. It's just about managing their load.
So when would you expect everyone to be up and running, full training?
Well, there's you're probably talking, there's around about 10 to 12 guys that are in that space, so they're all just very individualised. Brad Crouch will still be right for all going well for round one. Everyone will be right for round one, obviously, except for Yancey. So it's just about managing their loads and also juggling a new program from my point of view, and also from what Pike is looking for as well. So it's new for us, but it's also new for the staff that have been here before. So there's just a bit of you need a bit of flexibility through this period.
So with Brad, how much do you have to ease him through to Christmas? How hard can you push him?
Well, you need to be delicate with him because he's obviously had a number of issues with that foot now. So, and as you know, with feet, they're pretty important. So, we have to be careful with that and make sure that we're progressing along slowly, because the last thing we need is a setback. So, it's more on the cautious side with Brad.
And is it, as much as you want him to be right for round one, is it just take all the time he needs to get right?
Yeah, it's a little bit of that. I mean, it's there's always time pressures, but you're talking about a third-year player, so it's we want him to be around here for 12 to 15 years and playing 200 games. So you obviously lean on the side of being cautious and making sure that we give it the time to heal and then progress him at a rate that doesn't risk injury.
If we put it in a nutshell, Brett, what's your philosophy about getting AFL teams fit? What sort of approach do you have?
Well, it's pretty simple. It's just conditioning them to be able to play the game at the level that's required. So it's working with Don about what his game plan looks like, and look, I don't think there's too much difference between anyone's game plans. You're either going fast or you're going slow, and so it's really just building the capability to be able to do that. So it's replicating in our training what we see on game day. So that's certainly. From a philosophy point of view, we want to train the way we play. We don't get. If we were just using the game day as the only opportunity to be able to play it in train at intensity, then there wouldn't be many opportunities to be able to do that. So we need to try and replicate that in our training as much as possible. Clearly, in pre-season, you have to build because the players are coming off in between a 9 to 10 week off season. You like to think that they've adhered to the program. Reality is, you'll always have a few that don't. So you just got to manage that on the way through. But yeah, just replicate what we see in the game and prepare them adequately.
As a player, you looked outside as to what you could do.
Mm-hmm.
What's your approach there as a fitness coach-wise, particularly when the game's had a few reminders that if you look too far outside, you can get yourself into a fair bit of trouble?
Oh, definitely. From a view, you allude to a supplements point of view. It's it's just keep things simple. I mean, I think what's been missed in this whole thing is and what I talk to our guys about is supplements are exactly that. They're a supplement what you're not getting in your nutrition program. So for us, you should be getting everything from your nutritional meal plan, and obviously we can top up from if guys are injured or if they can't actually consume that. But no, it's just keep it simple and look, I think attention to detail in all areas. I spoke to the guys this morning about we set the program from a conditioning point of view, a strength point of view, a football point of view. So largely that's dictated to by the performance and coaching staff. So when we drive that when we're out there, but recovery is the biggest part of the program that they need to drive themselves. So whether it's what they're doing sleep wise, nutrition wise, massage, their ice baths and that kind of stuff, that's really over to them to drive. So we talk to them about the fact that we're here to educate them and give them the knowledge through our experience, but at the end of the day it's for them to drive because out there on game day we can't help them do that.
What type of impact do Tex, Sloaney, all those older blokes have coming in before they are required to be here on the younger fellas?
Yeah, it's a really good point. It's fantastic. It's a good sign of a group. It's certainly pleasing to when those guys called last week to say that they wanted to join in. It shows that there's a good leadership culture around the footy club, and the younger guys get a buzz out of that. They're obviously there to show the guys the standard, but also that they're all in this together. So it was great to see Tails and Tex and Sloaney and a few other boys come back a bit earlier, and they won't be in the whole program for the whole week, but they'll be there for the footy sessions, which is imperative that they're there.